What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, U.S. times in the morning. So come through and say hello. All right, so this video is probably going to be a little bit more crypto related, but I am going to tie it back to Splinterlands. And the main thing that I wanted to cover is this major rise in the interest rates for HBD, the Hive-backed dollar. That is now going up to 20%. And it is competitive with the Luna ecosystem, where the UST token, if you put it into the Anchor protocol, gets like 19.5%. Not only that, but HBD seems like they are considering, or I'm sorry, not HBD, but 3Speak posted this, saying that they are considering using BTC as a way to back HBD, similar to how Terra Luna did it, and that got a lot of attention from the Bitcoin community and just the crypto community overall. And so due to that, there may be some interest coming in into the space just for that. So how am I going to tie this to Splinterlands? Well, one thing when it comes to this game that I think is important is to figure out what your exit strategy is. Now, I'm not talking about, dumping the market, dumping your cards, rage quitting, or leeching from the game. The way that I like to put it, and I think is a good way, is just to be able to dollar cost average out if you need to, right? There are people who are like in this game for life, and that is amazing. But for those who are trying to get something from the game, right? It is play to earn at the end of the day, and I respect the hell out of the people who approach this game and are able to pay their groceries, pay their rent, or do real world things by playing this game. So for me, dollar cost averaging out and finding a way to dollar cost average out was an important way to go about this. So the way that I do it is I will take a portion of the amount of DEC earned from either rentals or playing the game. I don't sell assets, which include cards, land, or, of course, my favorite, SPS. I don't sell those because I want to hold those for as long as I possibly can. But from playing the game, so therefore my efforts, and then from renting out, so the income from that assets, I will take, I think it's about like 20%. So it's not much, right? But it is 20% that I will pull out, and then I'll take the other 80% and reinvest in the game. But with that 20%, I want to be able to do a number of things. So sometimes I go and I buy other assets. So I will invest, or like flip that into something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, like safer assets, long-term hold type of assets. Or if I convert it to US dollars, then I go and buy some ice cream and celebrate my getting into Champion or Diamond 3 or whatever the case is, right? So it's the idea of being able to realize some of the rewards that I have been fighting so hard for and that I've been building this, my little Splinterlands empire up to, and just trying to take a little bit out of that and either re-diversify it or take it out and enjoy it. So one of the things now that is interesting to me is this whole, HBD being offered at a 20% APR, because that is the highest now, I believe. Well, I don't know. It may not be the highest, but it's definitely competitive to something like Terra Luna, which is one of the most popular projects out there. So it's exciting to me in the fact that it could bring a lot of attention to the Hive network or Hive blockchain, which in turn could bring a lot of attention to games like Splinterlands and Rising Star. So it's really cool from that aspect. But to tie it back to what I've been doing when I say that, I'm pulling out or I'm dollar cost averaging out. Now, if I don't feel like buying, or re-diversifying into Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin does a little pump and it's just like, well, I want to buy on a red day, not a green day, so I'll wait until it goes down. Or let's say I'm happy with my Bitcoin or Ethereum or my stocks portfolio position and I just want to hold cash for a little bit. Then this is a nice option. Now, you're not able to earn this in the game itself. You have to pull it out to your Hive wallet. So as you can see here in my Hive keychain, you have to pull it out to your Hive wallet and then you can enter it into savings from there to start earning the 20%. The thing is, and this is a big part, is that every time you pull money from Hive Engine to your Hive wallet, whether that's Hive or HBD, there is a 0.75% withdrawal fee. And then if you're to put it back in, that's another 0.75% deposit fee. So I wouldn't recommend this for people who are trying to, go in and out frequently. But it is something that, again, as the name says, it's a good way to approach it as a savings account. So where is this valuable for someone like myself? Well, at this point in time, I am trying to think forward into the future with the launch, or not the launch, but the announcement of validator nodes and some other aspects within the game. There's a part of me that looks at this and says, well, building a cash position that can earn something significant is valuable. At the end of the day, it's going to be something where I think I will probably either start stacking in HBD, one, to diversify out, but also to have a stable coin, right? So something pegged to the US dollar that I'll be able to bring back in at an appropriate time. Let's say when Rift Watchers comes out, or let's say if I do end up wanting to buy a validator, I can pull from that. And granted, yes, I know that I would be paying fees on one way or the other, but part of those fees I'm willing to pay because the yield is very high and there's less or no volatility, or I would say very little volatility, not volatility, very little volatility on a stable coin versus something like DEC. Now, for the next 3 months, is holding DEC better? The argument can definitely be made that holding DEC is better because your risk at this point in time is only a 40% capital loss if we go from 0.0017 down to the peg, and the APR is just getting kind of stupidly high now with DEC being down and SPS starting to shoot up. Excuse me. So with that being said, it's definitely, I'm not going to say that it's the best option out there, but it's definitely a more appealing option and a place that whether you are trying to pull money out of the game entirely or you are trying to save up for something within the game, it's a pretty decent option. So I've just been exploring it. I wanted to share it with you guys because it's something that I'm excited about. I know, like I said, this isn't as much like Splinterlands related, but it is important for me and my Splinterlands journey because it is allowing me a way to stack for the long term. And sure, I understand I could be stacking in SPS, I could be stacking in DEC, and I am. But I think having a cash position is important because let's say the market nukes and even with all the hype and everything, SPS goes down to 9 cents again and it does like a 40% correction from where it is now. Well, I got this Hbd sitting on the side. Sure, I'm going to pay a little bit of a fee, but if you're telling me that I can buy SPS and if I have like a stable coin that I'll be able to buy SPS and, either make that swing trade or buy the dip, now I have a place where I can be earning on a stable coin while that is the case. Sure, could I just be holding HBD and not get the yield and then don't worry about the fees? That's another way to do it, but I like the idea of stacking HBD over time as well and just letting things compound, and if and when the time comes, I'll be able to use that to come back in and scoop up things for super cheap. So, for example, what are things that I am eyeing in the future? I've talked about them previously, and none of this is financial advice, and this is not a prediction. This is just, well, it's my prediction, but I don't know what I'm talking about, so I don't want you guys to take this as anything that will actually happen. But I am saving up for potentially validator nodes in the future. Sure, I could be saving some of that in SPS, but I do want to have some of that in HBD as well. I'm saving up for potentially buying Rift Watchers packs. I'm saving up for potentially buying cards if and when the market gets super cheap after the airdrop ends, right? I'm speculating that there could be a flood of cards entering into the system. There could be a lot more packs bought at that time. So just, who knows where it could go from that standpoint, but it's definitely worth considering. And then whatever other things they have coming down the pipeline, whether that's land related or whatever the case is, that is something that I'm looking forward to in the future and just trying to stack some stablecoin chips for a rainy day. So that's all I have in this video for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful or at least made you think about something in a different way. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.